Conservative New Media viewers, what's going on? It's me, John DiValero, the four-time national champion, joined by Paul Valero, the NBA expert. Hey, we're talking about this huge win for Miami. They are up 2-0 now in the Eastern Conference Finals over the Boston Celtics. And wow, there's a lot to talk about. We already had a reaction video on this. We talked about it. If you haven't seen that, check that out. Paul the NBA expert, is going to have his analysis and report video coming up next on this game, breaking that whole situation down. But I just want to do this right here. I want to talk about Paul Pierce. The game looked like it was over in the OT, but actually because of Rondo's back-to-back threes in quick succession there, they were able to close this thing up relatively close, and then there was a shot on the TV monitor of Paul Pierce going to the locker room. Do you think, what was up with that? That's my only question. First of all personal opinion, only knowledge, in fact, like I said, all for entertainment purpose. So please check disclaimers. What was Paul Pierce doing going to the locker room in the OT of a game that just got a lot closer there? You tell him you can't sit there for another minute or something like that? Is that a slap in the face for the Boston Celtics and for Rondo, who had an absolute monster game? What was Paul Pierce thinking? And did Doc Rivers, the coach of the Boston Celtics, say anything to him? I mean, Paul, that was sort of a jarring image, if you will, seeing Paul Pierce, who had fouled out, now heading to the locker room while the game, in my personal opinion, was still in doubt.
Yeah, look, I'll play devil's advocate here. I'll give the Paul Pierce probable explanation for this. He's going to say, look, the game was over, I thought it ended, so I started walking back. Then maybe somebody told him it wasn't over and he didn't feel like going back. I don't know. But there were still like 2 or 3 seconds left in the game. It was only a 3-point game, as far as I remember. I think that this is not going to look good for Paul Pierce. I think that people will make something out of it. That's my guess. The TV cameras are on him. He was there. If he wanted to, head back around, he could have. He didn't do that. It is a little bit potentially disrespectful. And the reason why I think something will probably get made out of it was, I know near the end of game 1, I think LeBron was criticized because he dribbled between his legs and behind his back. Well, he was still on the court. So if you're going to criticize LeBron for that, then I would imagine you have to criticize Paul Pierce for actually leaving the court before the game ended. I mean, that's just, like I said, I understand what I think probably happened, but it's still something that doesn't look good, and I think that Paul Pierce is going to face a lot of questions about this.
What do you NBA fans, what do you Boston Celtics fans think about that? Like Paul says, hey, we're LeBron haters now. What do you have to say about Paul Pierce? But more importantly, for the Boston Celtics fans, you needed this win. And, Rajon Rondo, who in my opinion was totally leading the team tonight for the Boston Celtics and had an unbelievable game, was on the court shooting his heart out with threes and getting this game a lot closer than maybe some people thought that it was going to be at the very end there. And Paul Pierce is heading to the locker room. What do you have to say about that? Do you support Paul Pierce? Do you think that what he did was wrong? What's your feeling about it? How does it make you feel as a Boston Celtics fan when this game, was so important and Rondo is getting this team close? Do you think that it was already over? Do you think the game could have been won by the Celtics? Where are you at on that? You need to tell us where you're at on this. Paul, do you have one last thing you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to say this, and the point you made is a really good one. Look, you have Rajon Rondo played every single minute of this game, and he's pouring everything out. He's going for broke. In that type of a situation, if I'm Rondo, personally, I would be unhappy if some dude on my team is leaving the court before the game's over. I put everything I possibly have into this, and it's not over until it's over. And you're leaving the court.
Right.
What are you doing?
That's it. I'm here playing the whole time. I'm here with the maximum minutes right now of anybody, I believe, on the Boston Celtics. I'm raining threes out. We need this game. We need this win. This is the Eastern Conference Finals. If you can't show up for this game in this series, when ostensibly can you show up? And Paul Pierce, you telling me you can't sit there for another 30 seconds or a minute? Really? You fans tell me what's going on with that. I want you people right now to weigh in on what you think. Right or wrong, Paul Pierce heading to the locker room before the game is officially over. You weigh in on it right now. Give me the comments below. Please subscribe above. I'm John D. Villarreal, the 4-time national champion. That is Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. We are concerned in the media. Please rate this video up. Also, please post to your social networking sites. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, and stay tuned. The NBA expert, Paul Villarreal, will have his full report and analysis on this game. This was a huge game, too, the Eastern Conference Finals. So you're going to be sure you want to check that out.